Great things happen to those who persevere. In a country where problems beset the daily concern of regular Filipinos, the hard backs of our countrymen and kababayans are held strong by the dedication we show each day. Here is one Cebuano who, despite challenges in his beloved sport, has pushed himself into achieving a lifelong goal at such a young age. Meet one proud, pure Cebuano athlete who has gotten into the national football team, the Philippine Azkals. Let's block that goal with goalkeeper Paolo Pascual. Ako si Paolo Varela, mabuhi ka, Sugboanon! Born on January 22, 1991, Philippine Azkal goalie Jose Paulo Aragon Pascual started playing football when he was 7 years old. Paulo represented Cebu in various competitions, such as the Civiraa, where his team became champion for 6 straight years from 2003 to 2008, the Rifa Cup, and Palarong Pambansa. In 2005, he played for the Under-19 National Finals in Zamboanga, where he was the starting keeper. He also played for the Under-19 Philippine team, which competed in Cebu, China in 2009, the SEA Games 2011 in Indonesia, and Under-21 Philippine team for the Hassanal Bolkiah Trophy in Brunei 2012. As a Cebuano, Paolo Pascual's aim is to contribute to the development of football in Cebu by conducting advanced goalkeeping clinics for high school and college students, where he shares the techniques he has acquired from his national and international stints and trainings with top foreign and national coaches and goalkeepers. This is Paulo's way of paying it forward to fellow Cebuano athletes who share the same passion and dream to excel in football. Paulo's experience from the time he started football 14 years ago to his joining the Philippine national football team has resulted in 3 admirable qualities that he now possesses: solid discipline, tireless diligence, and a positive mental attitude. Recently, Paulo has also been chosen as ambassador for the Street Child World Cup in Brazil 2014, who will search and inspire talented, less fortunate kids in the sport. He joined Global FC in the United Football League in January 2011 and is now their starting keeper. He, along with the Azkals, is now preparing for the 2013 AFC Under-22 Asian Cup qualifiers this June in Myanmar, where he will be the Philippine team's last line of defense. The challenge of athleticism is one where many are called, but only few get to rise for glory. And the latest wave in our very own Filipino sport gladiators, the Philippine Azkals, our national team. And we are very proud to have one proud Cebuano. And we have him, as a matter of fact, here with us today. Our very own goalkeeper, Paolo Pascual. Hey, Pao, how are you?
Hey, Pao, I'm good.
This is our chance to get to know you. It's going to be a little tricky due to the fact that we're both Paulos, but at the same time, you, my friend, are one who everybody here in Cebu especially fanatics of the sport. You guys are being looked up and watched over fanatically. Your sport, football, has risen beyond expectation in the last couple of years. So you yourself, my friend, you're very, very young, and we're gonna delve into what has led you into where you are right now. Let me ask the question. The great wave of football, yes indeed, what do you think about that? How is football changing the Philippine sports scene?
Football has changed the Philippines, I mean like the whole Philippines. Before football was like just like a physical education sport, or now that football is like one of the upcoming rising sports, one of the main, hopefully it will become like the main sport in the Philippines. And now that football is known, a lot of kids everywhere around the Philippines wants to be like just like an Azkal.
When did you start playing football?
I started playing football when I was grade 1 in our elementary school, part of Springdale School.
But at the same time, were you
already a keeper at that young age?
For grade 1 and 2, I was a striker. I was first a striker. I mean, when you start playing football, you don't want to stay on goal, stand up. You want to run.
You want to make a goal.
When you're 7 years old, you just want to run. But then when I turned grade 3, I was like the tallest and the biggest among my teammates. So Coach Mario Saniza, our coach at that time, placed me as a goalkeeper. So that's how I started.
But did you even want to be a goalie?
At first, I was like, no, coach. But after he told me like, Paulo, you will be a goalie. And then it's like, okay, go down, train, and that's it. Starting then, that day, goalie na good.
Who influenced you to take up football, particularly as a sport that you would dedicate your life into?
I mean, my parents really wanted me to take up, sport ever since before football. When I was still really young, I started swimming, started playing golf, a little golf, and just came like a soccer club. Just came and not knowing, just to want to just play and just try to exercise.
Your training, in terms of where you are at, as compared to how it was before, how do you see the progression of your very own skill?
It's different now. I mean, from your character, from discipline. I gained a lot of discipline entering the Azkals. You cannot just be like just any other ordinary football player. And then once I entered Azkals, I had to train a lot. I had to keep up with their pace and keep up with their level of play. That's why I had to learn fast. I had to cope up really fast. Dakan pamaol, pero I mean, to be in this game, to increase, and you have to have sacrifice.
I know for a fact that you were already given opportunities to play and represent the country even way before you got the opportunity to play for the Azkals. But I also know that you turned down those opportunities. Tell us about that.
That happened just right after under-19 when I represented the country for the under-19 national team in China. After that tournament, there were two competitions, the Suzuki Cup and the Interport Cup in Taiwan. They asked me to come and try to show myself up there in Manila and try to see if I can join them. And yeah, but then school, I'd love to come. I was like telling myself, yeah, why won't I go now? But then that time of school, I just transferred school. I was from Cebuano, taking up dentistry, and the transition, I transferred to San Carlos. It's kind of tough. So those moments there, I was offered. So it was kind of hard.
It was all happening at the same
give
time.
Up. Yes, it's happening at the same time. So that's why I told them, unfortunately, I couldn't make it. But I'd really love to come.
I mean, it could have been your first international competition representing the Philippines, right? Interport Cup in Taiwan, and at the same time there was the Suzuki Cup, right? That these opportunities did get to pass, but look what doors got to open eventually because of how. We're going to ask you that, as a matter of fact, in terms of how you got yourself into being an Azkal. But how did you feel when you saw that the opportunity was there, but you couldn't really take it?
It was like a child want to grab a cookie up the jar, but then you can't reach. I mean, it's like I really want to play. I really want to go to Manila, but then it just wasn't really the right time yet for me.
What made you decide to take that leap into full-time football and try out for the Azkals?
I was called to come and try out for the Azkals. We had several talks with my parents about it. A lot of talks regarding should I stay and play for San Carlos or just try to take my chances. That time, our midterms the tryout was January 20. Our midterms was the week after. The tryout had to be for 3 days, and it was a really tough decision for me. If I had to go to Manila, I'd skip my pre-midterms exams, and it's gonna be hard for me to cope up if ever I come back, and which I was not really expecting anything going to the tryout and going in. I never just wanted to see where my level is and experience. But my parents were really supportive. They were really behind me. They told me, Pao, just try to take that opportunity. Just go there and we'll see what's gonna happen.
Tell us about your tryout. Tell us about what happened that led you into becoming an Azkal.
So those first 3 days was tough. I mean, after the first day, we had a couple of games, scrimmage to see to see the capability of the players. And then after which, the third day came, and sakit kay lawas. I mean, training every day na you're not used to the level of play.
So the tryout was very intense.
It was intense. After the third day, we thought that coach is gonna tell who's some. But he extended the tryout for another 2 to 3 more days.
Which gave you a little twist.
A big twist, because I was just excused from school for 3 days.
Yes.
And exams right on the 4th day, and it was really tough for me.
Now, how did you find out that you got in the roster? The news get broken to you that, hey, you're in.
Right after the 5th or 6th day of the tryouts, around 8 o'clock, the coach called us, the whole team, even the players who were in the Azkals already, and also the ones who tried out. So he was saying that thanks for trying out. I'm gonna mention some names that's gonna come with us to the Bacolod training camp, and who's gonna be part of the training pool of the Azkals. So saying out names, and then some of my teammates not called, waiting for their names to be called, and then finally my name got called. I was like, I was surprised. I was like speechless. I was like facing like this down. And then actually I think around 5 of us only.
Even Coach Vice, he gave a remark about your playership and how good of a keeper you are.
The first thing he told me was, I mean, I like your composure, you're young, and I like your work ethics. Knowing that the level of play, not yet built up to that level, but knowing what he said really pushed me, and I told myself, I mean, those are the abilities which I can do na lang. Like, if I can't have what these other keepers have, like the skill that time, I mean, maybe I can just bawi na lang ko sa work ethic na ko. So it's good.
Tell us about your life as an Azkal. Basically, considering taking away all the other aspects, but as if you guys are getting into a particular competition, how do you spend your day?
I wake up at around 5:30, 5:45, get ready, eat a little light meal, and then so our training is around 7 to 9. In the morning, it will be usually more on conditioning, all running and those physical conditioning training. So after the training in the morning, we'd come back, sleep, then lunch, and then wake up at around 2:30, meet up again, and then by 4 we start training.
So that's basically a life of an Azkal.
Yes, that's
because everybody thinks, all eyes are on the Azkals, especially these past couple of years, and it's really great because you've raised a lot of our very own Filipino pride, but at the same time you've become showbiz celebrities overnight, in such a way that you have a lot of people looking up to you because you guys become role models as sports figures. How has that adjustment affected you?
I mean, it's a given already because of the success of the Suzuki Cup. The Azkals, I mean, 180 degrees, 360 degrees turn, became famous all of a sudden, and but the fame doesn't really come to our heads. If fame comes to the players' heads, you're gonna die. You're gonna get out of the team. That's it. I mean, for us, it's all about hard work. It's all about training. It's all about the next day train. So that's what we think. For us, it's just like training lang good. Next day training lang good. Bisan init ka, bisan we just train. Just all of us, just for one goal, just for our country. So that's it.
Apart from being an Azkal, what are the things that in the world of football that you're doing right now?
I'm doing a goalkeeping clinic now. While I'm staying here in Cebu, just to give back. My time to give back all the skills I know, all the lessons I've learned from the different coaches I've trained in, from Neil, from Roland Mueller. So yeah, it's a fulfilling feeling that, like giving back to your own place, to these Cebuano keepers, the young ones, because this is what they need. They need goalkeeping coaches, fundamentals, basics to help them become to reach level. Yeah.
And it's pretty tricky because how many goalkeepers can a team have?
3 to 4.
Just 3 to 4. So basically, and you're the third stringer for, of course, after Neil Etheridge,
Edward Sacpanio,
and then you. But at the same time, these guys are the last line of defense. That's you guys as goalkeepers, and that's pretty hard to do. And I do know that here in the Philippines, it's hard to find goalkeepers. Why is that so?
It's hard to find goalkeepers because number one, in the Philippines, there are not that much goalkeeper coaches. Unlike there in abroad, all the European players, there's always a goalkeeper coach in every club, in every team. Even high school, elementary, there's a goalkeeper coach. But here in the Philippines, since we were not yet developed, that was not our main sport. I mean, there are not that much goalkeepers. That's why, you know, these kids just want to play striker na lang, kay goalie, kay there's no proper coaching yun na, so that's why goalan na lang sila, kay di kay kabawa. But if you have a goalkeeper coach here in the Philippines, like in every city lang yun.
You got kicked on the face by Chiefy Caligdong. Of course, the risk between strikers and goalkeepers are always there, and they're the ones to really hack it out. But you got a kick to the face by Chiefy Caligdong, and of course everybody knows Chiefy is one of our resident strikers. Tell us what happened. Well, I mean, what happened to your face? You look pretty okay, my friend.
Chiefy dribbled the ball, I got it, and then I was on the ground, and this foot swing, and hit. That's it. Fortunately, he got hit. My left part of my face and my nose. So my face got bloated, and I fractured my nose. So I was sent to the hospital right away.
But of course, you're only here for 6 weeks. That's your injury time, is that right? To get well, yeah? And right after that, you jump straight back into playing football?
And playing football, and there are a lot of activities in store for May and June. So that's why I gotta keep up my fitness and gotta get back really quick and try to get back on the field of the ball. And
so even if you're injured now, you're still trying to keep up with the pace that you've been used to.
Yeah, the doctor said right after my first week I could start running and I could start, you know, going to the gym. So that's what I've been doing now, trying to run a bit and try to gym so I could, you know, keep my fitness.
All right. Before we continue, I have a couple of questions. I have 8 questions. These are really simple questions, the best questions that you could have. Try to say what comes out from your mind, the first thing. Maybe if you want to expound, it's up to you. All right. First thing, what's the best thing about the Azkals?
The best thing about the Azkals is the support we have, the fans we have.
What's the best thing about football?
The competition, the level, and you just want to score. You play, it's hard to score, you just want to score a goal. That's it.
What's the best thing about being Cebuano?
Support. Cebuano is Cebu is just amazing. I mean, I just bring Cebu wherever I go. I say, I'm from Cebu, taga Cebu day ka, ana. I mean, just saying the word Cebu is like, I'm just so proud of being a Cebuano. That's it.
What's the best thing about the Philippines?
The people, the culture. You could see Filipinos everywhere you go, and the support, and we go everywhere, and you can see the support they have for us.
Where is the best place for you to be, to do what you want? What's that perfect favorite spot for you?
In Cebu.
Where in Cebu?
The beach.
Ah, the beach.
That's it, just the beach.
I don't think we need to expound on that. The beach is
Simple as that, yeah.
Who is the best football player in the world?
Pele. Yes, for me. He inspired a lot. He inspired a lot of poverty. He inspired a lot of young kids, and now they are like big stars.
Who is the best Azkal player for you?
Well, honestly, Chiefy Caligdong, because I know what he's been through. Before, long time ago, 1990s, he was like trying out. He didn't get in the team when he was still young. He fought hard because he was small. When he just trained, sacrificed a lot, and then look where he is now.
Who is your counterpart, the best counterpart, goalie that you see who could be your best opponent? That's my last question for the best sir.
I think it's gonna be Victor Valdez. He's my favorite goalkeeper from Barcelona. Yeah, so I want to play against him.
I just have a couple more questions. So, your youth, how old are you right now?
21 years old. I'm 21.
Being 21 and having gone through all of these things, having the exposure in terms of football and in terms of general life that you're at right now by being part of the Azkals, how do you think that has helped you as a person?
It's helped me entirely. It just changed the way I see life. Not only football, but the way I see life. I mean, number one, my whole life changed when I just moved to Manila. That's it. My whole life I've been in Cebu. I'm staying with my parents, family, and you know, comfortable life, an okay life. When you transfer to Manila, it all changed. I mean, you learn all the virtues. I mean, you have to learn it all. Discipline, patience, hard work, it's all there. Just living by yourself and, you know, knowing that, you know, each day you're just there to play football. Not there to study, not there for anything but football. It changed me. It made me a stronger person. Made me a better person. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing that I have become like this. And yeah.
What are the things that you still want to achieve with the advantage of youth, of being 21 and having gone through all of these experiences? You also have a lot more opportunities to look out for. What are goals that you've set for yourself?
Well, I'd want to play I'd want to play for the Azkals one time. I mean, not just sub, not just be with the team, but eventually play. Everyone said I'm still young. You have a lot to go, and my other keepers are veterans already. But as usual, you gotta have to work hard every day. Work hard, learn a lot, learn quick, learn well, and so eventually just keep my hopes high and just be the main man on the post.
You're 21 and you've gone through a lot. What particular challenge, the biggest challenge that you had to rise up from?
I think from one moment that I told myself training was not. I had bad days in trainings, and knowing that our coach, there's a lot of demand, a lot of pressure there. You can just tell you're out, you're done. I mean, I had some bad days, I had bad trainings. I kind of didn't really go well because But then I told myself I was really down by that time. But then I told myself I had to continue. I had to continue playing. I'm ready here. Till I go back for in Cebu, nothing to go back for anymore. So I just fixed myself up, and next day, next training, ugma, no goals to score. Like tomorrow I'm gonna catch all the balls, and then tomorrow I'm gonna learn. Tomorrow I'm gonna be a better person. I'm gonna talk to my coach, and then that's it. I mean, and then I'm still here until now. Hard work and good sacrifice.
My last question, Pao, before we wrap things up. The idea of you as an Azkal that's been set. You've had a lot of your own personal games and challenges that you faced, experiences that you're running over and going through, but at the same time, you're taking it all in with the advantage of youth, and at the same time, the persistence that has given you the mindset to be hardworking and keep going at it. Out of all of the games that you've had, all games, what's the most memorable game that you consider to be, wow, that game, you always go back to that game whenever you think of doing great, being great?
It was a game against Laos, Philippines against Laos for the U21 National Ballkit Cup in Brunei. It just happened recently. It was our second game of the tournament. First game against Myanmar, it wasn't really that good for me. But the second game, Coach Gray Makinon had a talk with me about what I can do better. And yeah, the game happened. Played against Laos. We lost 3-0 in the first half. They scored 3 goals in 5 minutes because of defensive laps and all. I would say it was at night. We played at night. It was raining really hard. It was really tough conditions for our goalkeepers, slippery hands and all. And then 3-0 first half. Second half came, the team was down. The defense was not running anymore, cramps everywhere. Because that team, we didn't even practice as a team, as a team good in Manila. Our first tune-up game was against Myanmar, the first game, that team. So, the gel was not really there. But then second half came against Laos. Tired legs everywhere for the Philippines, and Lao just kept attacking and attacking and attacking. But when he kept on attacking and attacking, he was like shooting against me, and then I was surprised, I was stunned. I was like, why is it still 3-0? I mean, I don't want to say it, but then, like, well, I thank God for the game, but then, I'm like, I've been a lot of saves. I mean, yes, I did a lot of saves. I mean, a lot of saves.
Did you count?
I couldn't count.
Like an estimate.
First, once the whistle blew, bang, they attack already. And then there were like impossible goals, impossible attempts. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what kept me moving, what kept me going, what kept my hands.
So the first half of the game, they scored 3 goals
In 5 minutes.
in 5 minutes, and then in the second half, no goals.
He's like, you're like a god out there. I mean, wow. He's just stunned. And I was like, oh, thanks, coach. I mean, like, he was also surprised himself. I mean, not the whole coaching staff. They're like, so after that, I was like, wow, it's memorable for me.
That's the best game that even if the outcome of the game didn't turn for us, the experience was incredible.
Champion for me. It's like we were like champion, like World Cup for me, that game.
Wow. What are the things that you can say to people who are watching, especially the young ones who are getting into the football craze, and what are the things that they should never forget, that they should always keep in mind if they want to get somewhere with any kind of activity, whether it's a sport or whether it's life? What are the things that you would want to impart on them right now, especially with you being at this position right now, and you're still at it, you're still doing it. We won't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but right now, you're hitting it with the right mindset. So what are the things that you would want to impart on everybody who's listening right now?
Well, number 1, I think love God. Number 2, you gotta respect your parents. And the last thing is just don't give up and never give up. That's it. Even if it's just really tough, just my motto, just don't give up, never give up.
Oh, you said it pretty simply. God, parents, and just yourself. Never give up. Because if you give up, that's it. That's the reason why you're here, because you didn't listen to yourself when you wanted to give up. And now, you're part of the Philippine national team, and you're also definitely proud to be Cebuano, and you're representing Cebu in the most fantastic way as an Azkals player. Our very own Sugboanon. Thank you so much, Paolo Pascual. Salamat kayo.
Being an athlete is more difficult than anyone expects. They train hard each day, and they sacrifice a whole lot. And for national teams such as the Azkals, the difficulty is so much more. The eyes and ears of the whole country is focused on those who raise that national pride. And for all the pressures, goalkeeper Paolo Pascual has done so much. And he is capable of doing so much more. With all the support that he has from family and friends, this proud Cebuano Azkal is definitely on the right path. Ako si Paolo Varela. Mabuhi ka, Sugboanon!